I entered politics to serve the nation. My passion is solving problems. My passion is helping the poor, the vulnerable, and the disadvantaged in society. Accumulation of wealth is not and has never been a passion or an ambition. This is why throughout my public life, I have pursued policies, especially through digitalization, to check corruption in places like the ports, the DVLA, the NHIS, the Passport Office, and the Controller and Accountant General Department. So I have a solid track record in fighting corruption, and I have earned a reputation for doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most potent weapons against corruption is transparency. Many corrupt activities are cash-based. Apart from the obvious economic benefits of moving in the direction of a cashless society, the literature does indicate that the more electronic payments are used in transactions as opposed to cash, the more there is traceability and therefore the less the corruption. I would like to bring Ghana close to a cashless economy in the shortest possible time. So far, the Bank of Ghana has made a lot of progress in this direction by putting in place a lot of the systems and infrastructure required. These include mobile money interoperability, merchant interoperability, the universal QR code system, GH-Link, debit cards, eSwitch, and Ghana Pay. We have put in place the necessary infrastructure for Ghana to go cashless. Recently, the Bank of Ghana has completed a pilot of a digital version of the Ghana cedi in Seshwiwioso. This is known as the Central Bank Digital Currency, or the e-cedi. The e-cedi is designed to work online and offline and will be launched by the Bank of Ghana in due course. In my humble opinion, the e-cedi, with appropriate privacy protections, will be the ultimate weapon in our fight against corruption because it will provide transparency, reduce the risk of fraud, robbery, tax avoidance, and money laundering, since it will be easy to track the movement of money and identify suspicious activity. The e-cedi will quicken the pace of Ghana's move towards a cashless or near cashless society. Ladies and gentlemen, to move towards a cashless economy, however, we have to encourage the population to use electronic channels of payment. To accomplish this, under my administration, there will be no taxes on digital payments. The e-levy will therefore be abolished. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that when it comes to a national development plan, I believe we can find broad contours of a national development plan for which we can find consensus in areas such as education, health, industrialization, environment, and so on. I will support a consensus national development plan. Specifically, I will propose to amend Article 87 of the 1992 Constitution, as well as the NDPC Act, Act 479, to mandate political party manifestos and consequently economic and social policies of governments, as well as budgets, to be aligned to the agreed upon broad contours in specific sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, the current constitution was designed mainly for political stability, and it has achieved that. We need to amend it with the help of Parliament to align it more for national development. In that context, I am committed to the process to amend the 1992 Constitution through extensive public consultation with key emphasis on issues such as ex gratia, the rights of dual citizens, elections of MMDCs to deepen decentralization, empowering institutions while reducing the power of the president. Ladies and gentlemen, I want a Ghana where we place an emphasis on values and doing the right things, with the human factor playing its appropriate role in curbing corruption, bribery, crime, dishonesty, and so on. A culture of governance founded on ethical values, transparency, professionalism, and meritocracy to create a modern government machinery that exhibits more intensity and determination to impose order, discipline, and enforce compliance of the rules and regulations that are in place. In this regard, we will have a strong partnership between government and faith-based organizations. The contribution of faith-based organizations, for example, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, the Christian Council, Pentecostal Council, and the Muslim Council, in areas such as education, health, infrastructure, youth development, and so on, is very significant and complements government's efforts. And so we are going to have them benefit from many of the incentives that we offer to some of our external development partners. Ladies and gentlemen, I will also have a major focus on policies, tax, and other incentives to increase private and public investment in tourism, the creative arts, and sports. More jobs creation. We will build on the year of return, beyond the return, and December in Ghana. We will also introduce initiatives such as digital streaming platforms for our artists and tax incentives to make tourism and creative arts a growth pole. Tax incentives will also be provided for film producers and musicians. To boost tourism and job creation, my government will implement an e-visa policy for all international visitors to Ghana to enable visas to be obtained in minutes, subject to security and criminal checks. Ladies and gentlemen, sports is a multi-million-dollar industry and an enabler for the youth. However, we have not realized our full sports potential, and we cannot maximize the full potential of Ghana sports with the same funding model we have operated since independence. My government will therefore prioritize the creation of incentives for corporate sponsorship as a sustainable module of financing sports development and promotion of our national teams, including football, athletics, boxing at all levels. This will take the financial pressure off government and also enable government to redirect more support to other sports disciplines. My government, as part of a broad sports development vision, will establish the Ghana Sports Secretariat, which will be an agency under the ministry, responsible for sports in collaboration with other stakeholders, such as the Ghana Education Service and sports federations. My government will also seek school-level collaboration with international sports bodies like the NBA and the NFL to make Ghana a hub for these emerging sports in Africa, to create more opportunities for our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, we have already tried this with the NFL, the governing body for American football, which agreed to host in Ghana in 2022 the first which agreed to host in Ghana in 2022 the first ever NFL flag football in Africa, after my engagement with them. This paved the way for 10 young Ghanaians to be selected to the United States to represent Africa in the global NFL tournament last year. Another set of young Ghanaians who were picked after the second NFL Africa Football was also held in Ghana last year are currently in the United States to represent Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to build a nation that cares for the interests of the poor and the vulnerable, like persons with disabilities, the aged, street kids, lepers, cerebral palsy patients, and so on, in collaboration with faith-based institutions and the private sector. My government will also focus on special needs. To start with, we will recruit 1,000 special needs education teachers and retrain teachers on how to work with special needs students. We will also train more speech and language therapists and occupational and behavioral therapists. Ladies and gentlemen, we have secured visa-free travel to a growing list of countries for the benefit of our citizens and businesses. However, the acquisition of passports by Ghanaians at home and abroad has continued to be difficult for many, even though it has significantly improved. So far, Ghana has about 4.5 million passport holders and 17 million people enrolled on the Ghana card, which is also an e-passport. To make it easy for Ghanaians to obtain passports, under my government, any Ghana card holder will only have to pay a fee for a passport. You don't have to apply for a passport when you hold a Ghana card. If you are a holder of a Ghana card, you will not need to apply separately for a passport. You just need to provide your Ghana card number, pay the fee on your mobile phone. This is because the Ghana card contains all the information and the biometrics for a regular passport. So, if you apply for your passport and pay for it, it can be delivered to your home using your digital address. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a Bawumia administration will also prioritize the full implementation of the Affirmative Action Act, as should hopefully have been passed by January 2025. Under my government, free senior high school education will continue and we will improve upon it. My government will also expand infrastructure at medical schools as well as the Ghana Law School to support an increase in admissions for students for medical and legal studies. Ladies and gentlemen, these are just my initial ideas. I have not covered every sector. This is not the manifesto. The manifesto is coming. There are more ideas coming. Ladies and gentlemen, so far, ladies and gentlemen, so far, I have spoken about the economy, my contributions my vision, my priorities and policies. In conclusion, the choice Ghanaians face in 2024 is between Vice President Bawumia and former President Mahama. It is fundamentally a choice between the future and the past. We have to ask ourselves a number of questions in making that choice. If you want someone you can trust to come up with innovative and impactful ideas to transform Ghana, then it is Dr. Bawumia. If you want someone with personal integrity who can be trusted to fight corruption, then your choice is Dr. Bawumia. And if you want someone you can trust to work hard and tirelessly and selflessly for Ghana, it is Dr. Bawumia. If you want a leader who has a proven record and who you can trust to create jobs for the youth, it is Dr. Bawumia. If you want a man or a woman, in this case, we are two main men here. If you want a man to trust to take care of the poor, disabled, and the vulnerable, it is Dr. Bawumia. If you are looking for the man who has the vision and commitment to prepare Ghana for the fourth industrial revolution, then it is Dr. Bawumia. If you are looking for the man who is more committed to protecting and using our natural resources for the benefit of all Ghanaians, it is Dr. Bawumia. Who will be more accountable to Ghanaians? A one-term president like my competitor, or a person who can look to the long-term development of Ghana because he can have 2 terms? It is Dr. Bawumia. Who can you trust to protect and improve free senior high school education? It is Dr. Bawumia. Who can you trust to improve the national health insurance scheme and improve the quality of health care in Ghana? It is Dr. Bawumia, who has demonstrated a commitment to the development of deprived communities like the Zongo communities. It is Dr. Bawumia. Ladies and gentlemen, many people have said that I am the most impactful vice president in Ghana since independence. I do not intend to compare what I have achieved as vice president under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to that of a vice president who could not perhaps make a mark. I would let you be the judge of that. But I can say that I have never been president of this country before. I am presenting myself to you for the first time to ask for your precious vote to serve you as your president. In all humility, I would like you to give me the opportunity to become one of the most impactful presidents in Ghana's history. I have outlined many far-reaching measures in this speech. These are measures that should put us on the right path and transform our economy. I know that many of us might be tempted to say that we have heard many bright and even brave ideas before, and that will be true. Many will say the problem we have is not lack of ideas, but implementation. Many will say the problem is leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I offer only what has guided me throughout my life: hard work, personal integrity, accountability, and selfless leadership. I am determined to make a difference, a positive difference. I will work for you and with you, with honesty and integrity, with wisdom and decisiveness. I have clarity in my mind as to what I want to do from day one if you make me president. I will not ask for a honeymoon to cool off and think about what to do. I am prepared and ready to work if you give me the opportunity. You know what I stand for. You know my vision. My vision is about your mission. I believe in the ingenuity of the Ghanaian. Together, we can succeed in building a progressive society of possibilities, enterprise, compassion, open opportunities, and a shared prosperity for every Ghanaian, born rich or poor, born from the north, from the south, born Christian or Muslim, a boy or a girl. With your support and prayers and God's guidance, we can win together. It is possible.